Hello traders, good day to you all. This is Christopher Glenn. Today is the 18th of August 2014. This is a daily market review for the current market status. As we can see, we've got low amount of potential today in terms of liquidity. Generally, we've got weak announcements, not very important announcements, but definitely this week we've got a lot of good potential time frames to see a lot of liquidity driven into the market out of several announcements. As you can see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are all filled with a lot of announcements, red announcements that are expected to deliver a lot of liquidity to the market. And this is why today specifically we can see a lot of currencies drop down in terms of liquidity, because the market is in an expectation mode, waiting for several more announcements to deliver indication, and then obviously we expect to see the liquidity returns to the market. Generally, as I said today, we've got low amount of potential, but tomorrow we can see several announcements regarding the Australian dollar, pound, and US dollar. So already from tomorrow, I do expect to see liquidity driven into the market, especially from the dollar perspective. And we'll go over the dollar index. I'll give you my insight regarding this specific chart. Let's go to the chart and let's see what we've got for today. Generally, we can see that the Japanese yen lost a lot of strength in front of the majors, except the gold, which lost a lot of strength because of the dollar at the moment and what we've got in Europe. So at the moment we can say that the Japanese yen lost some strength since the beginning of this trading session and even during Friday. But we do expect to see the Japanese yen regaining its strength, especially in front of the Australian dollar, the euro, and Canadian dollar. That is the potential in terms of structure. Let's move forward to the dollar index. So the dollar index, last week I said that we're expecting to see downtrend on behalf of the dollar index, and indeed we can see this long-term sideways corrective pattern, but since last week we saw that the dollar lost some strength. I said that I'm expecting the gold to climb a bit up and then crash down, and I said I'm expecting to see weakness on behalf of the dollar. In terms of structure, we've received a 1, a 2, and a 3 dropping down. Right now, this third wave structure is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth is expected to drop down to complete this ABC pattern, and then I do expect to see an uptrend movement. This is an hourly chart, meaning that today we may see weakness on behalf of the dollar, and tomorrow once we'll receive the building permits in the United States at 1:30 p.m., then that might deliver a good potential for the dollar, and then we'll see this spike climbing up. So generally I'm expecting the dollar to gain strength in the market, just that for today or even for tomorrow at the beginning of the trading session I'm expecting to see a bit more weakness on behalf of the dollar. The equivalent point in terms of gold is to see a bit more uptrend. You know what, let's go to the gold. I'll show you the structure over there. We've received an impulse movement dropping down on the gold. This impulse movement dropping down, and after that we saw a pullback. At the moment we're moving toward a lower rate, keeping the same potential because of the expected strength, weakness on behalf of the dollar. I'm expecting this chart to climb up, and then again once the dollar will regain its strength, then I'm expecting this chart to fall down. Regarding the oil, if we'll go to a larger time frame, we can see that we've received the first A wave dropping down, second sideways corrective, Z corrective pattern of a B, and right now we're falling in a C wave, which is expected to reach approximately to the 90 area. A nice pullback on the 90 area, then we'll have to reanalyze this chart, but at the meanwhile I see this potential to drop down toward the 90 level on crude oil. Let's talk a bit about the majors. Well, the euro versus the US dollar, let's look at the weekly chart. Really want to analyze that based on a long term. We saw a 5 wave impulse movement dropping down, then an A wave, a B wave, and a completion of a C wave climbing up. till 1.4. Since then we went lower in an impulse movement. At the moment I do expect to see a bit more consolidation area over here, but eventually I'm expecting this chart to fall down significantly, meaning a weaker euro in the market and a stronger dollar in the market. If we look closely to a daily chart, then this downtrend movement, the initial downtrend movement that begins a new impulse movement, is expected to continue. No question about that, at least until this area over here, the trend line, which is located at 1.31. Logical downtrend movement before. We'll see a bit more fluctuation level, a bit uptrend, and then across and fall down below this line. That is the aspect regarding this specific chart. Anyway, I do expect the euro to lose some strength, the dollar to gain strength. Eventually, I'm expecting to see downtrend movement at least until 1.31. That is a logical area to see a pullback. The dollar versus the Swiss franc is giving us an amazing opportunity for an uptrend movement. Let's look at that chart. I'd like you to pay attention to the idea of the reflection of charts. When we're talking about dollar Swiss franc, we're talking about euro versus the US dollar. If I'll go to a daily chart and I'll place the chart of the euro versus the US dollar on top of this chart, so we can see that they basically, because the dollar is on the right side on the euro versus the US dollar, it's the uptrend is a weaker dollar, and on the other hand, dollar versus Swiss franc, the dollar itself is the major currency, so downtrend movement is the stronger dollar. So we can see that this indeed is a reflection, and it's very logical because the euro in front of the Swiss franc, they basically move toward the same area because they are connected in terms of an area and trading time frame. And we can say that the dollar gaining strength and weakening is reflecting the same strength or the same potential on each currency, the dollar Swiss franc and the euro versus the US dollar. So as I was talking about downtrend movement in front of the euro, I can basically say that the potential of the dollar Swiss franc is to climb up. In terms of our analysis, there's a great potential to see divergence over here and a beginning of an uptrend movement which reflects the same potential as I was talking about the dollar versus the Swiss franc. So good potential on the euro versus the US dollar for a downtrend movement, dollar Swiss franc for an uptrend movement. I'm talking about approximately between 100 to 200 pips, logical movement that we can catch over here. As I said regarding the euro, I do expect to see some correction entering the communication between the currencies, and therefore I'm expecting to see the same corrective pattern applied on the dollar Swiss franc. But both currencies are moving toward the weaker currencies in front of the stronger dollar, and after that I'm expecting to see corrective patterns. From here I'd like to wish you all the best with your trades. Have a pleasant day and bye bye.